Hey guys, it's aandmsinc, and here's a StarCraft broadcast it's my first one on my channel, but I have plenty of them coming. This was actually sent to me from one of my best friends, actually, and it's actually a tournament that he was in. It's the finals of it. It's an amateur tournament, so it's StarCranium versus Error. StarCranium is playing random and Zerg in this game, but he normally plays Terran. He's going to play random the whole series, and Error's going to keep his Terran. So this series was the finals, and it was a best of 5. And here we go, StarCranium versus Error. They're both starting off pretty standard, just with getting the SCVs and everything. But it's like my best. Actually, I know StarCranium from a ski program I go to. We talk like every Sunday about this, and he just said, hey, do you want some packages of StarCraft that I have? Because he kind of just has so many games he saved, and he decided that he wanted me to cast them and everything. So, yeah, so here goes, best of 5 series. By the way, StarCranium's offer is Zerg. It's his worst race, and I'm actually surprised he picked it. Especially, like, I'm surprised he even played random, because he's a very heavy Terran player, and I'm actually very pleased in what he does. He's actually been moving up very rapidly throughout the rankings. He's now actually a gold player, but at this time, he was a silver, and Error is a gold player. Error is now getting his first supply depot, and still, StarCranium really isn't getting any of the... He hasn't got a spawning pool yet. A few overlords around the map. He has scouted that they spawn cross positions, so it's a not very big arc distance, so we should be seeing a pretty quick game. This game should be pretty short. I'm expecting a rush kind of strategy with the barracks coming down about a minute into the game. No, 2 minutes into the game. Basically right now, really, they're even on harvesters. Actually, StarCranium has a 1 harvester advantage. Really, they both don't have any army units right now. They're cut, and surprisingly, StarCranium, I expected him to take the spawning pool, and now it's landing down behind his mineral line. So hopefully this will be a good series. He told me it's great, and I really believe him on that, because he's just a great player, actually, in general. It's actually great playing with him. He's a great friend and everything, and I'm actually really excited for this series. And so we have the barracks is now just finishing, and the spawning pool is about halfway to done right now. And so now there's finally the first Marine coming out, and orbital command is being done with the command center. Basically, it's just, and then StarCranium is really just getting his spawning pool, starting everything off for army units. Not really an advantage, because surprisingly, there wasn't really any fast goes for rushing and everything, which I would expect StarCranium to do. But he's getting this expansion at 17 supply. He's getting his expansion. This SCV is trying to do a little bit of damage, just being a little bit of a nuisance. So nothing really coming out of this barracks. He's now starting to train a Marine, and we have some Zerglings coming out to defend the expansion. I don't play Zerg, but I would probably think that you'd want to get at least, maybe, I don't know, but I would want to probably have at least 2 Zerglings before he expanded. Who knows? The SCV is still causing damage to this hatchery, which is very surprising. I'm surprised he hasn't got out there to deal with it, and probably just not really number on his mind. And 2 more barracks go up for the 3 racks, so this could be a pretty shortened game unless StarCranium gets some units out. Still nothing coming out of this barracks. There's kind of at a low amount of harvest, like a low amount of money, and now SC or StarCranium is going, they're kind of even on economy, and so really is this only a 1 harvester lead for StarCranium, and I might call him SC. It's kind of just our nickname, me and Colton's nickname for him. And now the 3 racks, one of the racks is about to finish, and we have a tech lab coming up. And just a few more, only 2 Zerglings on the map for the Zerg, which is surprising. I'm surprised more units haven't been made yet. Yeah, he's still not making a lot more, but a Roach Warren is coming in production, and so is Speed for the Zerglings, as well as Stim Pack for the Terran, and his racks just finished, and a reactor's coming up on one of the barracks. Nothing really special going on right now. Only the fast expand from the Zerg going a 2-base Zerg against a 1-base Terran. And like HD always says, really realistically a Zerg wants to be 1 base ahead. Mostly just, it's also just, it really helps the Zerg. And you really need that 1 base advantage, because you really aren't going to win without that 1 base advantage. It's not always, maybe not in the early game, but definitely towards the late game you really need to have, at least you want to try and have more bases than a Terran or a Protoss opponent. Just really, there's not many attacking units on the field for this early in the game. And so it's kind of surprising. We have the 4th, no, not a 4th racks, a factory coming down for the Terran. A Roach is on the field for the Zerg. I'm guessing that siege tanks are going to be coming out of that factory, just because that's a normal thing for the Terran to do. The Overlord is coming in to scout for the Zerg player right now. And he has control of both of the Xel'Naga watchtowers, with both a Zergling apiece. He has only 1 Roach back at his main, which is very surprising, but he has 4 more drones coming to this expansion, which he really needs to saturate this expansion. Kind of get that economic lead over the Terran. He's starting to push ahead of the Terran with 3 more harvesters now than the Terran. Not really a big economic advantage, but now we have a pretty nice Marine force. I'm not sure if he's going to move out with this. It looks like he will, or he's definitely going to move out with this. And so this, I don't know, SC could maybe defend this. He's getting a Baneling's nest right now, and a starport is coming out for the Terran, which could mean a lot of trouble. Maybe even spell Banshees, but I doubt it with this early in the game. The Zerg has about 5 Roaches right here defending his expansion, and he does see the attacking Terran coming, so because of this held of the Xel'Naga watchtowers, so obviously you don't want to engage off the creep with the Zerg. The Marine Force is I think it's going to pull back, stemming away, which is kind of surprising. I think that was a waste of 10 health, but he has 2 Marines. I don't think he notices these 2 Marines that are sitting right outside the Zerg expansion. SC does, and he takes them out with his Roaches and Queen. He has a few more Roaches back at his base, but mostly they're just macroing up right now. I'm a little nervous about this, but the starport, but he gets a reactor. There might be drops, or he just might be getting a few medvacs. Nothing's happened with this factory, though. It might have just been a stepping stool for this starport. I'm surprised he hasn't got like a siege tank or something, because that's a pretty good strategy, or at least it's very well used in the lower leagues. So now we have not really much of a difference. There really wasn't a huge attack there. Combat shields are coming up for the Terran, and there's about 6 Zerglings coming in for the Zerg. And I don't really see, I think there might be, actually the economy difference is huge. It's 11 harvesters ahead. The Zerg is 11 harvesters ahead. StarCranium, he's really producing a lot more economy, and this could really hurt the Terran player in the long run. He really needs to get back on top of that, and more Banelings and some Banelings are now being morphed in. There's going to be 6 Banelings on the field in just a couple of seconds, and that could really help with this gigantic amount of Marines. And I think he's actually going to move out with this force. The Banelings should be done by then. The Banelings are done now with, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to move out. Oh, but he's loading them up into his dropships. This could really spell trouble for the Zerg. 2 dropships full of Marines and Marauders are going to be dropped into the Zerg main. This really could hurt him here. There's a ton of Banelings though right here. I don't know if that will deal with this amount though. Will StarCranium see this? I'm not sure. He's focusing over here on the Banelings. I don't think he'll see these medvacs coming into his base. He has no idea these medvacs are coming. Oh, now he sees them cross over. And they finally go back. They're dropping their units. This really, he needs to get his units over here. He's not even selected them. He needs to get them over here. They're going to do a ton of damage, especially this Baneling's Nest and Rotoran. I am not sure if he really needs to get over here. No forces are coming over yet. Not even the Queen. This really could hurt the economy that is giving this Zerg a lead. He's finally moving in his forces. I'm not sure if these Banelings could do it. He needs to get these Banelings. Oh, and he picks up his Marines and Marauders and gets off. No air will make sure that those medvacs have a safe ride home. And that really hurt the Zerg there. The Zerg lost about 8 harvesters. 8 harvesters in that attack, which is a very nice hit for the Terran. Even though the economy, the Zerg still has a 4 harvester lead. And the Terran has still not grabbed his expansion, which is really surprising because the Zerg is now getting his 3rd expansion. This is really ridiculous of how little the Terran is really thinking about the economy of himself. This could really hurt him in the long term, but I don't see much of a, I don't know, the Zerg is just not looking like it's very competitive right now. It has the 13 roaches, which could really do a big thing to this Marine army, but I'm pretty sure there's a pretty gigantic difference in supply, even though the harvesters do change that. Oh no, the Zerg now has a higher supply army. It's not wise for the Terran to move out anymore. This is bad of him to move out. In production, we have a ton of roaches coming out. 15 roaches about to be coming out. And there's about 6 more left. Siege tech is coming for the Terran. That means siege tanks are going to be in play. We still have the Zerg controlling this last Zelnaga watchtower. Over here they were taking out and the Marines took it. But, I don't know, maybe this... Oh, and the Zelnaga watchtower goes down. He takes out the Zergling. He just scans to see the army of the Zerg. I'm not sure. These roaches really could hurt these Marines. Oh, but he's going to drop inside the base. SC's army is pretty much out of position, but he's gonna see these and he's gonna quickly see the dropships come in with his creep spread. This drop is not going to do much, but it could get a surround on the Zerg. But no, the force over here gets it. Oh, but then the high ground, the roaches are attacking from the high ground and nailing these Marines down here. Now all these roaches are going to take vengeance on these Marines, and it could really spell trouble for the Terran. This quickly turned into the Zerg control, basically, because now most of the Terran force is now gone, and the Terran forces are still trying to flood in, but these Zerg forces are just annihilating them. The roaches are moving out. We have concussion shells coming from in production. We have barely any units for the Terran, only 5 Marines and 2 dropships. And we don't have any saturation over here, but we do have some roaches. The roaches are about at the Terran main right now, and he has an expansion he has to take away. No, he's not. What is he doing with this command center? I'm not exactly sure. If he lands it, that's going to be gone in a second. Maybe to distract him, he has a siege mode into siege tech protecting, and that could really hurt the Zerg army. He needs to take out that siege tank. The Zerg, I don't know, this looks like it might be, I don't know if it was too soon, but he needed to do it. I guess he needed to do it sometime. This is a heavy Marine army though, and that could really hurt the Terran, but it looks like that's okay. These dropships are going to pretty much heal these up. And like we just recently saw in an HD game, you need to hit these supply depots. He's letting you into his base, think in the opponent's mind. And he actually is taking out these supply depots, which is very smart. But these SCVs are going to come off the line. He's going to start sacrificing SCVs against these roaches. It looks like they'll be taken out, but with a heavy toll to the economy, I'm guessing. But maybe not. I don't see many SCVs dying over here. But now there is a 21 harvester advantage for the Zerg, and he's not really operating off his third, but it's third base, and if he gets that saturated, it's going to be a 3-base Zerg against a 1-base Terran, which is just, it's not going to work for the Terran. You just can't win off that. And more roaches continue to come in. We have a Spire coming for the Zerg, and that really could hurt him, especially with this mass roach army. This mass roach army is again moving closer into the Terran main. This constant pressure really could hurt him. Oh, but he just landed his command center. If the Zerg attacks right now, it could really do a ton of damage to that command center. But I don't know if that'll matter. A ton of mules get dropped down at this expansion. Definitely the plus of being Terran. And we just have major saturation at the 2 bases that he's working off of, and he's getting a ton of saturation over. He's going to try and get some saturation at this 3rd base, and this is really looking bad for the Terran. I don't know if he could come back from this. Wow, a silver player is beating the gold. It looks like he's killing off his own SCV. I'm not sure why he did that. Maybe to free up supply. I'm not sure. He's building a bunker at his expansion. He is building another. That kind of puzzles me on why he did that. He has his little roach army over here. The Spire is almost finished. And he has, I think, Overlord carrying coming. No, Overlord speed coming. Excuse me if I messed that up. I'm not a very big person on Zerg, but we do have 2 hatcheries coming inside the main, definitely to boost up the units. Wow, I don't know if it'd be wise to move in right now. Oh no, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure with the units. There's 16 roaches. Yeah, I don't know if this would be a good time to move in at all. Probably don't. I wouldn't go on the offensive right now, especially with these bunkers. They really would just decimate these roaches. But he's definitely keeping the Terran pinned, and that's really bad for this Terran, especially because now he cannot really go for a 3rd base. It gives the Zerg a 1-base advantage, and it's not really great saturation at the 2nd base. But he supply capped himself. He supply capped himself at 86, and he can't build any more SCVs. And SC, I haven't really seen him with supply cap himself that much. He's at 153 supply, and we have a ton of mutas coming in. 15 mutas. I think that they come around the side and hurt this economy. Definitely punish him for going for this 2nd expansion. Wow, the Zerg is in control. I can't believe this. Wow. Yeah, this could really hurt the Terran right now. This is surprising. Oh, and then they come in. How much damage will they do? He needed to attack sooner. The Marines are finally coming in. He needs to move these mutas out. Maybe get some... Oh, he goes into the main. The mutas are in the main base. The Terran is scrambling to get all of his Marines over there. There isn't much mining at the main anymore, though. But it could kill off a ton of SCVs. Now it's just a ridiculous amount of the Zerg is higher. It's 70 to 26. This is ridiculous. How... This is not even heard of with economy. I can't believe this. The Terran is now moving out, maybe going in for a base trade. We have a barracks coming up, but I don't think that will be necessary. Maybe just a waste to me. And realistically, his only mining base is his expansion now. He has a ton of missile turrets. He's getting very paranoid about this muta attack. But these roaches, oh, they're racing back to the base. These roaches need to get there. There's 33 roaches on the map. I don't think this could really work anyway for the Terran. These roaches are just... Oh, but they get caught. He doesn't attack them. Oh, the roaches are going to be killed. Tons of roaches die without even knowing it. But he finally... Only 2 of them make out of about 13 roaches. That was about 11 roach kills right there. And I'm not sure if this is the right time to attack with the Terran, but this is the only chance. This is the last stand. He does not know about this expansion, I believe. I don't think he knows about this. He has no idea about this expansion. Absolutely no idea. And I don't know. This is looking pretty bad for the Terran. Yeah, I think this should be GG. I'm not sure. Yeah, this should be GG right now. This Terran army is still surviving pretty okay, but still, it's just, I think it's just a little bit of a waste from now on. It's kind of, I don't know, I don't think he could rally a 1 base against a 3 base, but who knows. We have tons of units coming in for the Zerg. We have 22 roaches coming in. I'm surprised not more mutas, because the mutas really have to, he needs to take out these dropships though. These dropships are really causing him grief right now. The roaches, few of the roaches come out now. There's 20 roaches on the way. Wow. And this is a really heavy macro game. Sorry, I got a bit confused, but oh, and that's the end of the Terran ball. We only have a few more forces coming in, but these should be pretty easily dealt with this massive Zerg attack force. Yeah, this should be GG. This should be the end of the game. I can't see it going on any farther. The Terran's just too far behind. 3 base to 1 base, there's just no chance really. And so this should be GG. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened yet. I don't really see what's worth fighting for right here. He's lifting off his command center, maybe to try and expand somewhere. I think probably over to this island expansion, but I don't know. It seems a little far-fetched, especially with those mutas. They could pretty much take that out in like they could take that out in a hurry. He's still trying to do damage to this, but the Zerg is just only getting stronger. Well, they have to rebuild their forces. I'm not sure why he's still in the game. The Zerg is finally going in for the final blow, and this should finally be GG to this game. Game 1 of the series of 5. And I don't see much happening. And just the economy is unmentionable. It's 68 to 20. The Zerg is up 48 harvesters. There's going to be a drop in the back of the Zerg base, but I don't think that would even deepen this hole, because he's mined out at his base, and he's selecting his harvesters to get out of there. And then the Overlord is seeing the dropships come in. There's just no chance for this. He has plenty of time to get back and hit this. Even with the forces at his base, he has just enough roaches. I don't know if he could deal with it, but it just won't take much. He's already attacking the main of the Terran. Yeah, this game's over. I see some siege tank blows coming off, I think. Oh, there's the siege tank. The mutas are taking it out, though. This game is over. Where's the GG? He doesn't even notice these forces standing over here. The Terran should attack with them. Maybe try and divert the Zerg forces. Make him try to split his army. And he's trying to repair the bunker. Oh, but it falls to the roaches. This should be GG. The roaches just have overrun the Terran main. There's just no chance anymore. Not even a glimmer of hope. There's not really any production coming from the Terran, I don't believe. Nothing from the Terran right here. There's a ton of there's roach speed and roaches coming from the Zerg, but nothing could come from the Terran. I'm just waiting to see a GG out of this game, because there is absolutely no way that he could win this. The Terran finally hits over here, but this is going to be very easily dealt with his forces back at the base. And the Zerg is just continuing on. Now it's a no base Terran, and there's the GG out of the game, and I believe that's the end of the replay. And there's the end of it. That was a great game. Game 1 finished out of the best of 5. Game 1 goes to SC, which is surprising because he played his off race. So Game 2 is on the way. So stay tuned on this series. You're going to be seeing a lot of StarCranium from now on. So, aandmsinc signing out.